Hey guys, Jim here, and this is Budget RC, and this is not my studio. Today I have a special rig rundown. I'm going to go over my ECX Barrage Doomsday and show you guys what changes I've made to it to make it into a pretty good crawler. And we're going to do some crawling right here in Ventura, California. So stick around. Hey guys, like I'd said, I'm in Ventura, California for work right now, and while I was here, I decided to sneak one of my RCs into my luggage so that I could do some crawling while I was out here. This is one of my smaller crawlers, and because of that, it fit pretty well into my luggage. So what I'm going to do is go over this vehicle today and show you guys some of what this vehicle is all about and how I built a budget crawler out of it. So let's get started. So let's talk about this truck a little bit. This is the ECX Barrage Doomsday, and this is a little bit different from the standard Barrage in that it comes with more of a Mad Max monster truck sort of a theme instead of being just strictly crawler based. The real issue though is that it's not really a monster truck because it's got locked differentials and it's geared more for crawling, so it's very low speed and not really fun as a monster truck. But because you can get these for as little as $100, it's really a great platform to start with, especially if you're going to do things like upgrade the body or wheels and tires anyway, because if that's the case, you might as well start with the $100 truck instead of the more expensive Barrage. So that's what I decided to do. And right now my changes are somewhat minimal, although I do plan on doing a little bit more with it in the future. As you can see, the body itself is still the original Doomsday body. However, I did make some changes to it. I took off the side pipes, I took off the roll cage, I took the netting out of the windows, and I painted the window area black just to give it a little bit more realistic look. And lastly, I replaced the bumpers. The front bumper on this vehicle would really get caught on everything and made it unusable as a crawler. What I did was to take the back bumper and cut it in half and put half of it on the front, drilled new holes, and reused the remainder of it on the back. And now my approach and departure angles are much better than when it had the original bumpers. Lastly, I changed my wheels and tires. This thing actually worked reasonably well with the monster truck tires, but I wanted a more appropriate wheel and tire combination. This was an opportunity for me to try some real inexpensive stuff. I'll have the links below for all of the hardware I used, starting with these aluminum bead locks. These were a very inexpensive bead lock that I bought on eBay for around $30. The only modifications I made to them was to remove the anodizing on the beadlock ring. Originally these were orange, which I did not care for. I used some easy off oven cleaner, a little bit of sandpaper, cleaned them up. Now they're nice solid aluminum and I think they look great. For a $30 wheel, I'm very impressed. Now the tires themselves were another eBay purchase. These came with some black plastic glue-on wheels that I chose not to use, but if you wanted to use those wheels you certainly could. I drove them for a while without gluing them, and it actually worked out pretty well because this truck doesn't have a slipper clutch, so having the tire slip on the wheel kind of worked like a slipper clutch and helped me from tearing up parts on the truck. In any case, these tires here with those wheels were only about $10 on eBay, and I've got to be honest, they're pretty soft and very grippy. I'm very happy with how these perform. I'm using the included foams, which are a pretty soft foam, but for this truck that doesn't weigh anything, it's not a problem. So now let's take off the cover and I'll show you what's going on underneath. So under the lid we have completely stock electronics. However, I've rearranged some things. You can see that my battery tray has moved where originally it was back here. And what I did was to get the Kydex out and just bend up a small piece that mounted to a factory mount here and then allowed me to mount the original battery tray in a position very similar to where it's mounted in the Gen 7 crawler. I like this position because it brings the battery forward and it also brings it lower than if you were to mount it up here. Other than that, all I did was move the tray that was up here for the electronics to the back, and now I have the electronics mounted here in the back, including the antenna, which is mounted through one of these bumper holes. The only other change I've made to this vehicle was to lower the body posts to bring the body down a little bit. In the front, it was a simple matter of just dropping the post, In the rear, dropping the post interfered with the shock, so I did have to just trim the post a little bit. Other than that, it was as straightforward as can be. And that's it in terms of modifications to this vehicle right now. I will be doing more to it in the future. I've got the metal lockers for the differentials, but right now I'm still running the stock plastic lockers. And I am planning on going to a brushless motor upgrade. I'll be using a brushless, sensorless outrunner motor that's originally designed for an airplane application in here, along with a brushless speed control. I guess you could consider a mini version of the Holmes Hobbies revolver. I'm looking forward to trying one of these outrunners in a vehicle. I haven't done it yet, so keep an eye open for that. So that's about it with respect to this, guys. Now we're going to take this thing out in Ventura, California and see how it works.